Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're diving deep into the world of online selling.
Mm.
Something I know a lot of you out there are really interested in. It's a world that's just full of possibilities. You can sell pretty much anything you can imagine to anyone from anywhere.
Right.
And you can tailor the level of involvement to fit, your life.
Hmm.
To help us navigate all this, we have some excellent insights from Shopify. And one of the key things they highlight is this 9-step framework for success.
Hmm.
But we're not just going to, run down the list. We're going to go way deeper, uncovering the how-tos and the why behind the what. So you can actually use this information to build something great.
Yeah, one of the things that's so fascinating about online selling today is how accessible it's become. It's not just for those, big companies with tons of resources anymore. Pretty much anyone with a bit of entrepreneurial spirit and an internet connection can get started.
Mm-hmm.
But to be successful, there are some nuances to understand.
Absolutely. It's not a case of just like, throwing a product up on a website and hoping for the best. It's a whole ecosystem. And one of the first things to really think about is finding your niche.
Yeah.
You know, it's about differentiating yourself,
Yeah.
standing out in what can be a pretty crowded marketplace, not trying to be everything to everyone.
Yeah. Think of it this way. Would you rather go head to head with Walmart on price for, a basic t-shirt? Or would you rather create a t-shirt with a unique design, one that speaks to a specific group of people? That's the power of niching down.
Yeah, I love that. And Shopify actually uses a really good example. Decibel Dues, they make custom moldable earphones.
Yeah.
And it turns out the founder, Kyle Kirkpatrick, was an Olympic gymnastics coach. And he was constantly getting frustrated with ill-fitting headphones.
Yeah.
So he saw a problem.
Yeah.
And he created a solution. That's niche brilliance in action.
Exactly. And what's so great about that example is it's not just about the product itself, it's about the story behind it. People really connect with that authenticity, with brands that are solving problems they can personally relate to.
Absolutely. So this is where the self-reflection comes in for, all of you listening. What are you passionate about? What are some problems that bug you? Problems that maybe, just maybe,
Yeah.
you could turn into a business solution. That's often the seed of a really great online selling venture.
Right. And once you have that seed, it's time to build a brand around it. Because a fantastic product needs a fantastic brand to really thrive.
Absolutely. Okay, here's where things get really interesting. Visuals matter a lot. Shopify points out that a whopping 40% of customers say images are the most important factor in website design, then color at 39% and video at 21%. Clearly, people are drawn to what they see online.
I think this goes beyond just, pretty pictures. Visuals actually help to build trust when you can clearly see a product from all angles in high quality. It reduces the sense of risk that often comes with buying online. And color. Color taps into emotions and brand personality.
Yeah, like Solo Stove, those sleek portable fire pits, they've absolutely nailed the visual branding, but they've also gone deeper. They've really focused on the emotional benefits of their products.
Yeah.
Creating memories with loved ones,
Yeah.
enjoying the outdoors. It's not just a fire pit, it's an experience.
And that's how you build a loyal following online. People don't just buy products. They buy into the feelings and values your brand represents.
Yeah. So for those listening, think about the emotional connection your brand could offer. What kind of feeling or experience do you want to evoke in your customers? What values will your brand stand for?
Yeah. And don't forget, visuals are a huge part of conveying that.
All right. So you've got your product, you've got your brand. Now it's time to get it in front of those customers. It's time to explore sales channels. I like to think of it like building a diversified investment portfolio. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's one of the great things about selling online. You can leverage so many different channels to reach your target audience.
Tired of scrolling through endless workout videos and confusing money-making schemes? Fit4Funds.com is your one-stop destination for reliable fitness equipment guides and proven side hustle strategies. From foam rollers to freelancing, we break down what actually works. No fluff, just practical tools to build your body and bank account. Visit Fit4Funds.com today, where fitness meets financial freedom.
Your target audience. And, Walmart Marketplace actually doubled its sellers in 2020 alone. That tells you a lot about the power of these platforms.
Okay, so let's take a look at some of the key players, starting with the visual powerhouses, Facebook and Instagram. They're perfect for brands with eye-catching products, and they have a huge reach.
Right. And what's really great about them is they allow for direct purchasing. Customers can see your product, fall in love with it, and buy it all within the app. It's so seamless and convenient.
Exactly. Then you have TikTok. I think of it as the rising star of online selling. It's all about video. fast-paced trends,
Yeah.
and a younger demographic.
Yeah. TikTok is really interesting. They've integrated things like shoppable video ads and live shopping. Imagine someone watching a creator demonstrate your product live, and they can literally buy it right then and there. That's incredibly powerful stuff.
Okay. Now, if you have handcrafted or vintage goods,
Mm-hmm.
Etsy's your go-to platform.
Etsy attracts a really unique audience, people who appreciate handmade items and unique finds. It's a great place to build a dedicated customer base. Just be mindful of the fees involved with selling there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
All right.
All right. Now, a platform I think most of us are pretty familiar with, eBay, kind of the veteran of online marketplaces.
Yeah, eBay's a classic. And they give you options. You can do auctions or go with fixed prices. It's also got a huge global reach, so you can connect with buyers all over the world.
That's a big plus.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of big players, we can't forget Walmart Marketplace.
Walmart Marketplace is really attractive for businesses of all sizes because there are no setup or monthly fees. Plus, you get to leverage Walmart's reputation and massive customer base.
Absolutely. Okay, the king of the jungle, Amazon, huge reach. But it comes with its own set of challenges.
Right. Amazon has incredible potential. But you're competing with a vast number of sellers, so you need a solid strategy to stand out. And you have to be aware of the fees involved.
Definitely. Okay. Finally, Pinterest, the visual discovery platform.
Yeah, Pinterest is different. It's less about personal branding and more about showcasing your products in a very visually appealing way. People go to Pinterest for inspiration, and those shoppable pins make it really easy for them to buy what they discover.
All right. Here. Let's shift gears a little
Mm.
and talk about the less glamorous but super important side of online selling, the legal and financial stuff.
Yeah, it's so crucial to understand the legal framework that governs online selling. Shopify mentions things like trademarks and patents,
Mhm.
even GDPR compliance if you're selling to customers in Europe, essentially. You need to be transparent about how you're collecting and using customer data.
Right. And then there's the dreaded T word, taxes. I know it's not the most exciting topic, but it's something every online seller needs to be aware of. Shopify's advice is to consult with an accountant. Tax regulations can vary depending on where you are and how your business is structured.
Definitely. When it comes to legal and financial matters, it's always best to be proactive. It can save you a lot of headaches down the road.
Okay, before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, let's throw in some bonus tips from Shopify. Who doesn't love a little extra knowledge, right?
Right.
They really emphasize optimizing your website for user experience. Think easy navigation, clear product descriptions, high-quality images, and a seamless checkout process.
It's like walking into a physical store and it's a complete mess. You know, it's confusing. It takes forever to find what you're looking for. You'd probably just leave. And it's the same with online stores. A positive user experience is absolutely crucial for converting visitors into paying customers.
Yeah. Okay, now let's talk about SEO, or search engine optimization. This is all about getting your store found by people searching for products like yours. It's a long game, but it's essential for driving consistent traffic to your site.
And one of the key things to remember about SEO is it's not about, tricks or shortcuts. It's about providing genuine value. You have to understand what your ideal customer is searching for and create content that actually answers their questions and meets their needs. Think about what you would type into Google. If you were looking for a product like yours, those are your keywords. And building backlinks.
Yeah.
Getting links from other reputable websites to yours. That's like getting votes of confidence from the internet. It boosts your credibility in the eyes of search engines.
Makes sense. Now, this one's fun. Partnering with influencers. Even those with smaller but highly engaged followings can make a big impact. It's about finding influencers who genuinely align with your brand and whose audience matches your target market.
Yeah, it's all about leveraging trust. Influencers have built these relationships with their followers, and when they recommend a product, their audience is much more likely to take notice. It's kind of like getting a recommendation from a friend.
Absolutely. And remember that email list you've been building. It's time to put it to work. Email marketing is a fantastic way to connect with your customers, share valuable content, and ultimately drive sales.
Yeah. But remember, email marketing is about permission and value. Don't just blast out random messages. Your subscribers should have opted in, and the content you send should be genuinely useful or interesting to them.
Right. To make it easier for people to buy, Shopify suggests offering buy now, pay later options. This allows shoppers to spread out their payments, which can make your products more accessible.
And that raises an important question. Are you truly meeting the needs of your target audience, offering flexible payment options? It can remove a big barrier for a lot of customers, which can lead to more sales and happier customers.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the heart of your online store, your product descriptions and images.
You have to remember, online shoppers can't physically touch or experience your products, so your images and descriptions, they have to do the heavy lifting. They need to create a vivid and enticing representation of what you're selling.
Exactly. And it goes without saying, excellent customer service is an absolute must. Quick responses, hassle-free returns, going the extra mile to resolve any issues. That builds trust and loyalty like nothing else.
It's about creating a positive emotional experience for your customers. When they feel valued and cared for, they're much more likely to come back for more. And they're also more likely to tell their friends about you.
Yeah. Word of mouth is gold. Shopify highlights the power of customer reviews, testimonials, ratings, and user-generated content. It's about showing potential customers that other people have had great experiences with your products.
Yeah. And it taps into a powerful psychological principle. We tend to follow the lead of others, especially when we're making decisions. So seeing that other people have had positive experiences with the product, it increases our own confidence and trust.
Makes sense. And finally, Shopify reminds us that content marketing can be a really effective way to attract new customers and establish yourself as an expert in your niche. Think blog posts, videos, podcasts, anything that resonates with your target audience.
Yeah. With content marketing, it's not about directly selling. It's about providing value, building relationships, and positioning your brand as a trusted resource. And when it's done well, it can drive long-term growth.
Absolutely. Okay, phew, we covered a lot of ground just now, from finding your niche to building a brand, exploring sales channels, and even diving into some of those legal and financial considerations.
Right. And as always, our goal with this deep dive is to give you actionable insights from Shopify's expertise. We've highlighted those essential elements and the strategies that can help you succeed in the world of online selling.
Exactly. But remember, it's just the starting point. What really matters is what you do with this information, how you apply it to your own unique vision, your own products, your own brand. That's where the real magic happens.
Exactly. And speaking of magic, I think it's worth mentioning that success can look very different for different people. For some people, success might mean replacing their full-time income with their online business. For others, it might be having the flexibility to work from anywhere in the world. Or maybe it's just about pursuing a creative passion and sharing it with others.
I love that. You know, it's about defining success on your own terms, not based on what someone else tells you it should look like.
Absolutely. And one more thing to keep in mind, the journey of online selling, it's rarely a straight line. You know, there will be ups and downs, challenges and triumphs. It's all part of the process.
So true. So I'm curious, what's your favorite thing about the world of online selling? What keeps you excited about this space?
You know, I think what I find most fascinating is the potential for connection and community. The internet allows us to connect with people all over the world. And online selling kind of takes that connection to another level. It allows us to share our passions, our creations, our solutions with a global audience. It's about building relationships, fostering trust, and making a positive impact, one transaction at a time.
That's a beautiful way to put it. You know, it's not just about transactions. It's about human connection and shared experiences.
Exactly. That's what makes it so rewarding.
All right. Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave you with something to think about. Imagine you have all the tools, the knowledge, the support you need. What incredible product or service would you bring to the online world? What problem would you solve? What joy would you spark?
Don't limit yourself. Dream big. Explore all the possibilities. And most importantly, take that first step. Shopify has some great resources, like their starter plan. It's a low-cost way to dip your toes into the water and start building your online store.
Yeah. So, to everyone listening, we're cheering you on. We believe in your potential to succeed in this incredible world of online selling. Remember, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Embrace the journey. Stay curious. And, most importantly, have fun.
Yeah, have fun. It's been a pleasure diving into this with you all. We hope this deep dive has been both insightful and inspiring. Happy selling. Yeah, it is a lot to take in, but you know, you don't have to do everything at once. Start with a solid foundation and build from there.
That's great advice. And speaking of foundations, let's talk about the financial side of online selling. You know, it's not just about making money, it's about managing expenses, pricing strategically, and really understanding your profit margins.
Absolutely. You need to treat your online business like a business. That means tracking your income and expenses, understanding your cost of goods sold, and setting prices that actually allow you to make a profit.
Right. And I know a lot of people are curious about, you know, what's the average income for online sellers? but it really varies wildly. It depends on the niche,
Hmm.
the platform, and how much effort you're putting in. But there are definitely some incredible success stories out there, people who have replaced their full-time incomes
Hmm.
and even built multi-million-dollar empires.
That's true, but it's important to have realistic expectations. Building a successful online business takes time, dedication,
Huh?
and consistent effort. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about finding something you're passionate about, solving a problem for your target audience, and constantly learning and adapting.
Absolutely. And, Shopify offers some really helpful tools for managing your finances and tracking your progress. You can set up sales reports,
Yeah.
analyze your best-selling products, and even get some insights into customer behavior.
Yeah, data is power when it comes to online selling. The more you understand about your customers, your products, and your sales trends, the better decisions you'll be able to make, and the more effectively you can grow your business.
Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about some of those legal aspects we mentioned earlier, trademarks, patents. It can all sound a bit intimidating.
It doesn't have to be. Basically, a trademark protects your brand name and logo, and a patent protects your invention. If you have something truly unique, something you want to safeguard, it's worth looking into those legal protections.
Okay, that makes sense. And you mentioned GDPR. Can you explain what that is exactly and why it's important for online sellers?
Sure. GDPR stands for the General Data Protection Regulation. It's a European Union law that protects the personal data of individuals. So if you're selling to customers in Europe, you need to comply with GDPR. Basically, it means being transparent about how you collect, store, and use customer data. You need to get their consent to use their data for marketing purposes, and you have to give them the right to access
Or,
or even delete their data.
so it's about respecting customer privacy
Mm-hmm.
and being transparent about your data practices.
Exactly. And while it might seem like a bit of a hassle, it's actually a good thing. Building trust with your customers is essential. And respecting their data privacy is a big part of that.
Right, okay. I have to admit I'm feeling a little overwhelmed with all this information. Are there resources available, to help online sellers navigate all these legal and financial complexities?
Absolutely. There are tons of resources out there, legal guides, online courses, even communities of online sellers where you can connect with others and get advice. So don't be afraid to ask for help.
That's reassuring to hear.
It's
So
true.
we've covered finding your niche, building your brand, exploring sales channels, and even diving into the legal and financial side of things. What's next on our online selling journey?
Well, let's talk about creating a captivating online presence. This is where your website, your social media profiles, and your overall brand aesthetic come together to create a really memorable experience for your customers.
Okay, so it's more than just having a website. It's about creating a cohesive and engaging brand experience across all those different touch points.
Exactly. Think of it this way. If your online store was a physical store, what kind of atmosphere would you create? What kind of music would be playing? What colors would you use? What kind of experience would you want your customers to have? Now try to translate those feelings and that atmosphere into your online presence.
I love that analogy. So it's about creating an online store that reflects your brand personality
Yeah,
and really resonates with your target audience.
absolutely. And remember, visuals are king online. Invest in high-quality product photography, photography that shows off your products in the best possible light.
Yeah, those images are so important. Now, what about the website design itself? Any tips for creating a site that's user-friendly and visually appealing?
Keep it simple and intuitive. Easy navigation is key. Make sure your products are easy to find. And your checkout process is smooth and seamless. Use high-quality images and videos to capture attention and tell your brand story.
Okay, and of course, we can't forget about mobile optimization.
Right. So many people are shopping on their phones these days, so your website absolutely needs to be mobile-friendly.
Okay, website sorted. What about social media? How can online sellers effectively use platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to grow their businesses?
Social media is all about building relationships and engaging with your audience. Share valuable content, answer questions, run contests, and showcase your products in creative ways. The key is to be authentic and really connect with your audience on a personal level.
Yeah. It's not just about posting product photos and sales pitches. It's about building a community around your brand.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to experiment with different platforms and different types of content. See what resonates best with your audience.
Now, I've heard a lot about the importance of email marketing. How can online sellers build an email list and then use it effectively?
Email marketing is still one of the most effective ways to connect with your customers and drive sales. You can collect email addresses through sign-up forms on your website, offer incentives for subscribing, and even run contests.
Okay, so you've got that email list. What's the best way to use it?
The key is to provide value. Don't just spam your subscribers with sales pitches. Share exclusive content, offer discounts, and personalize your emails to make people feel special.
Right. It's about building relationships,
Yeah.
not just blasting out generic messages.
Exactly. And make sure your emails are mobile-friendly and easy to read.
So, we've covered a lot of ground today. From building a website, to leveraging social media, to mastering email marketing. It's clear that creating a captivating online presence is crucial for online selling success.
It really is. And remember, it's an ongoing process. The digital landscape is constantly changing, so you need to be constantly adapting and evolving your online presence to keep up.
You're right. Now, I know we touched on customer service earlier, but I think it deserves its own little deep dive, after all. Happy customers or repeat customers right.
Absolutely. Providing exceptional customer service is so important. It builds trust, loyalty, and a positive brand reputation. It's about going above and beyond to meet your customers' needs and exceeding their expectations.
So, what are some practical tips for delivering excellent customer service online?
Well, respond to inquiries promptly and professionally. Be patient and understanding, even when you're dealing with difficult customers. Offer multiple channels for support, like email, phone, and live chat, and always strive to resolve issues as quickly and fairly as possible.
Makes sense. Now, what about dealing with negative reviews or complaints online? How can online sellers handle those situations effectively?
Don't ignore negative feedback. Address it head-on. Apologize for any inconvenience, and offer a solution. Remember, how you handle those negative situations can actually turn a dissatisfied customer into a loyal advocate.
Yeah. It's about turning a negative into a positive and really showcasing your commitment to customer satisfaction.
Exactly. And sometimes it's also about knowing when to walk away from a customer. You know,
Yeah.
a customer who's just being unreasonable or abusive, you need to protect your mental health and your business.
That's great advice. Speaking of protecting your business, let's talk about security and fraud prevention. What are some of the biggest risks that online sellers face, and how can they protect themselves?
Cybersecurity is crucial for online businesses. Make sure your website is secure. Use strong passwords. And be wary of phishing scams. Be careful about the information you share online. And educate yourself about those common fraud tactics.
Okay. What about protecting customer data? That seems especially important these days with GDPR and other privacy regulations.
It is. Invest in secure payment gateways. Use encryption to protect sensitive data. And make sure your privacy policy is clear and comprehensive. Stay up to date on the latest security best practices. And be proactive about protecting your customers' information.
So it sounds like security is an ongoing process, not just a one-time fix.
Exactly. You need to be vigilant
Yeah.
and constantly adapt your security measures to stay ahead of those potential threats.
Okay. We've talked about so many important aspects of online selling today. From building a brand to marketing your products, managing finances, navigating legal complexities, providing top-notch customer service, and ensuring security. It's a lot to juggle.
It is. But remember, you don't have to do everything perfectly from the start. Start small. Focus on your strength and gradually expand your knowledge and skills as you go. The most important thing is to take action and never stop learning.
That's really encouraging advice. So,
Yeah.
what are some final thoughts you'd like to leave our listeners with as they embark on their online selling journeys?
Believe in yourself, embrace the challenges, and never stop learning. The world of online selling is constantly evolving, so stay curious, stay adaptable, and most importantly, have fun.
That's great advice. The online world can feel really intimidating sometimes, but it's also incredibly exciting. And that's really what we've tried to capture in this deep dive. We've covered so much ground, from finding your niche and building a brand, to exploring those different sales channels, understanding the legal and financial side of things, and even diving into customer service and security.
Yeah, it's been a pretty comprehensive journey. Our goal was to give you a solid framework to think about online selling. We've pulled some really key insights from Shopify's expertise, but ultimately, the real magic comes from what you do with this information.
Absolutely. It's about applying these principles to your own unique idea, your own passions, your own skills. That's where the real success stories come from.
Exactly. And, It's important to remember that success looks different for everyone. For some people, success might mean replacing their full-time income with their online business. For others, it might be having the flexibility to work from anywhere, or maybe it's just about pursuing a creative outlet and sharing it with the world.
I love that. It's about defining success on your own terms, not by someone else's standards.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
before we wrap up this deep dive, I have one last question for you.
Yeah.
What is it about the world of online selling that you find most rewarding? What keeps you excited about this space?
That's a great question. I think for me, it's the potential for connection and community. The internet has this amazing ability to connect people from all over the world, and online selling takes that connection a step further. It allows us to share our passions, our creations, our solutions with a global audience. It's about building relationships, fostering trust, and making a positive impact, one transaction at a time.
That's beautifully said. It's not just about the buying and selling. It's about human connection and shared experiences.
Exactly.
Well, on that note, I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
Right.
To everyone listening out there, thank you for joining us on this journey into the world of online selling. We hope you found it insightful, inspiring, and maybe even a little bit empowering.
We did too.
Remember, the world of online selling is constantly evolving, so stay curious, stay adaptable, and most importantly, never be afraid to experiment and have fun.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Until next time.